Yeah,
All right,
I just keep
hello
it steady on
everybody.
the
Welcome
magic.
back to
Do
the
my thing, I'm
Uprooted
healing, it's
Podcast.
fantastic.
Yeah, we're gonna just have
If I
some
fall,
good
rise
conversation
automatic.
about some good
You ain't
topics
on
with some
that,
good
you
people.
know. I'm the one raise myself like a tree from the roots. West side girl, cause she lit in the coast. East side girl when she speaks to the roots. Stay 100 cause she on with the truth. Been there on struggle, know that it pass. Only going up, yeah, the pain don't last. Ooh, take off. Ooh, take off. Ooh, take off. This is take off. Shorty like Brandy, fight like Monica. What you know about her? Baby girl rising, way to the top. Shaking the world, don't expect her to stop. Purpose so great, she get what she got. Follow her step, cause she following God. What you need more, got a heart full of gold. Even at times when it's raining and cold. Ooh, she bout take off. Ooh, she bout. If I fall, rise out of
Hey, y'all. It's your girl Hannah, aka Ruta, and you are watching the Uprooted Podcast. I'm sitting in a hotel lobby, but we're gonna make this happen today. I have my guy Atakelti coming on, and I am so excited to be sharing him with the rest of y'all. Go ahead and do me a favor. Send this to about 5 of your friends if you're on here watching. Hope everyone's doing well. Still out here in Seattle, and they have been doing a fantastic job this weekend. Really proud of all the work the organizers are doing. And yeah, guys, it's gonna be a fun week. If you're not here, I hope you're staying safe and having a good day, a good Sunday, and beautiful end to your weekend. Okay. Let me see. I see you. Okay, hold on. Let me get you in. Oh, not that y'all came ready today. Hold on. Quest, I got you. You coming up. Not you look. Oh, okay. You look so pretty. Hey, thank you. Y'all like my henna? Hey.
What up? What up?
Wow. How are you?
I'm good. I'm a little surprised I made this work.
Yeah, I was like, ooh, I hope he's not technologically gonna lose it here.
Most people know that I get clowned on for my IG and
Yeah.
nephew too.
Yes. I'm not gonna roast you too hard because
I mean, we can keep it.
we're gonna keep it good today.
Go ahead and roast all day.
No, we're too comfortable, so sometimes people don't get that, and I don't want them to think that I'm hurting your feelings or anything. Oh, Dawi said my favorite people. Hi, Dawi too.
ET.
Oh, you got a fresh haircut? Let me find out you came onto the show to start.
Weekend haircut.
Whoa.
Shout out Euphoria Barbershop, Elvis Madrano.
Okay,
Yeah,
listen.
I never make it easy for him. I'll never make it easy for him.
Okay. Oh, Zuzu said my henna
he
looks
takes
good.
care of me.
Do you like my henna?
I like it.
It's beautiful, huh?
When do you leave?
Those are federal questions.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, I can't have people.
What if people try to follow me? Exactly. Come on, you can't be putting my business out there like that. I'm gonna tell you on the low.
All right, you hit me up later. Let me know. We'll see what the next move is. It's popping out there, though. I've seen the videos. My mom.
Your mom's out here?
Obviously, no, she's not there, but she obviously shared it. He's got to share her. She's got to share.
TMH. Yeah. What do you mean? Zuzu said not the federal question. Okay, let me pull us together because the way we will think this is FaceTime.
Questions. All of this is just all federal. These are all federal questions.
It's okay. We're not.
I got federal plugs. We're fine. No,
he said I got federal plugs. Hey, don't give out too much on this. Okay, so listen up, y'all. Welcome, everybody. I get a little too familiar with my guests. So first and foremost, hello, how are you? How's your day?
It's good. Been working all day. You already know.
Do you take days off?
I do. A bit, probably more than. I mean, that's why I'm working on the weekends, is because I'm taking taking too many hours off, days off during the week.
Got it.
All my lawyer people on here, all my legal friends, they know the deal. Let's see if two of them joined.
Okay, well, we're gonna talk about this because I have questions. Okay, I have a lot of questions about this. Zuzu said so. Homeboy works for the FBI. Listen, we're gonna get into that in just a second here. So, First and foremost, welcome to the platform.
Thank you.
How do you feel?
I'm Doing all right. I'm all right. I told you I was a little nervous. It's my first
No,
live experience.
you got it. No, you got this. Don't
I
worry.
feel like
Don't
I feel like you have to roast me though, just so I can
to make it easy.
break the ice. Yeah, make it. Go ahead.
Okay, I got you. No problem. The roast.
I know it's no problem. I know it's no problem.
Oh, you don't want to start that. Okay, listen. Anyways, hello everybody. This is Atakelti. Remember we had this whole debate about your name, and then you said people call you at, and I was like, no. Or did I say, do people call you at?
I
And
think
you were,
if people called me. I mean, that used to be a thing. Like, obviously, people are gonna make that joke. I've just been going by AT since I was 11.
AT.
Went to a
Okay.
white high school. I had to make sure it was easy, I guess.
That people didn't disrespect your name.
For better or worse, yeah. I didn't want nobody messing that up. But yeah, I actually.
Oh, not that you got. Wow.
I embraced it.
So you had the branding ready to go, but you were nervous about coming on the show?
It's more of a branding. No, I mean, this is on my desk, but it's more of a branding thing now. AT. Only people who really know me.
So this is in your room at your desk. Yes, we just learned. We just learned this together, guys. Had I known this before, I would have came with better roast. You have that on your desk?
I do. It was a gift. It was a gift.
So should I have like an uprooted thing on my desk?
You should. We talk about your branding. Yeah, we should get a. I mean, we have been. We've been talking about your branding a little bit.
Yeah, okay. So listen, I've just learned something new about you. My audience has just learned something new about you. This is fantastic, guys. So what
I got my high school boy out here. Shout out Miles. Check out Sir. Collect a lot. Makes toys for celebrities.
what
He does. He's out here.
this is so you're telling me that you were the plug.
Miles is more of the plug. I'm just out here.
Okay. This is
I
all
mean,
new information.
We all got plugs. That's what I love about your show, growth mentality.
Okay.
You are the plug, actually. I mean, you're the
I'm
plug.
Okay, well, let's go into story time then, since we're gonna do this. So, guys, story time. How did I meet at with the symbol at or
Let's not call it.
or at AT or Atakelti, if you can say his name. So this is hilarious. So basically, we were working in an advocacy group together, and I was like, "Who's the mysterious guy that's never around, right?" And then one day he pops up on the meeting, and I was like, "Oh, this is the guy." And then he went into his whole lawyer mode, and I was like, I said, "Is he our lawyer? Do we have a lawyer?" I'm so confused. I was so confused and perplexed. And then you were explaining to me that you were like, handling all kind of those questions and the stuff that we don't want to do, which I appreciate. I appreciate somebody else doing that for me. I was like, this is fantastic. This is fantastic. And then I found out, no, he's actually a lawyer. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. So you actually went to school for this. This is like not just you're not one of those people like on social media. Yeah,
talking about LLCs and
that. Okay.
I should.
I told you I can market you.
I know you can.
I could like produce a whole thing for you. Do you trust me or like not? I feel like that's the real question right now.
Yeah, I mean, of course I trust you. You're the expert here. I'm still learning it myself. All the market business. I'm still learning just business in general.
I'm just so proud of you because you got on Instagram and you knew how to join the live.
That's all. I'm honestly, I'm really proud of myself for that.
Yes, and you reposted the story. It was fantastic. Honestly.
Yeah. My story. Like I said, I get made fun of for my IG activity because it's always either random or just bad taping or.
Yeah.
But I try to be active where I can.
No, it's okay. Tell the people because you have a real big boy job.
Yeah.
And you don't really come on here often. And you didn't even know. You guys, should we tell them the story of how you humbled me because you were like, "Oh, you have a show?"
Oh wow! You humbled me.
I humbled
no,
you.
I
Go ahead. I'll let you
no, no,
tell it, and
I
then
knew
I'll
about
correct
your
it.
I knew about your show. I
Okay.
thought I knew about you. I just didn't. I hadn't seen it. I mean, your name. I mean, the Uprooted was obviously,
Hmm.
especially in our community, it's going viral. It's I mean, it has been viral. It's been a great platform for the cause.
Okay. I love this. This is great. This whole, because this is not how that conversation went. I
Oh,
was like,
okay.
so he was just like, "Oh, so what's your show about? What do you talk about? Like, what kind of questions do you ask?" And this was like weeks later, guys, and I was like, "Oh, so you haven't watched it? Not even one episode. You didn't even like you weren't even curious enough to go watch it." And I was like, "That's hilarious." So I kind of used that to guilt you into coming onto the show, and it worked.
Yeah, you did. It did work, and I was a little nervous when you asked too. I was like, "Oh, I don't know," and you got me. You got me on here.
Yeah, but you know what? You were like, I'm a grown man. I have a backbone. I'm not gonna punk out of this. Is that what you told yourself?
Yeah. Let's say that. I mean,
Okay, let me. You
pretend
told
that.
me you told me it was okay to roast you, so I'm having too much
No,
fun
please.
now.
Yeah,
I'm having way too much fun now. But guys, no, for real, I brought him on here because I thought it was dope. And then for those of you guys who don't know, he's from the East Coast. So we have this kind of East Coast West Coast rivalry situation. Wait a minute. Not the neck action. What's going on? Not the neck action. Okay, so listen, we have an East Coast West Coast thing going on, and so sometimes it's nuck if you buck around here.
It gets a little. Yeah, no, Yeah, you just
It's
got
like it's
to make
okay.
it sense.
I'm just a little salty still about the whole popcorn fundraiser. We're not going to talk about it here online, but just know I felt the type of way, but it's okay. It's okay because I forgive you because you still said you're going to come on the show. So, what I actually asked him to come on the show for was to talk about like how it's been, creating a career for yourself in an industry that you're pretty much alone, no?
I'm not alone, but it's hard. It's hard to. We're like in the cracks. You gotta find it. You gotta go search for them for sure. Mentors and peers.
So, okay, in your just take it even back. I was going to say undergrad, that's not a thing for you. Law school, okay, let's go back to law school. So those of you who are following along, how many other black men were in your class?
In law school,
Mm-hmm.
there were actually 8, and it was out of 100, which is actually more than I thought there might be because I've like I tell people I'm not I've been like a walking marketing op since I was 12, because it's not new. Being in predominantly white institutions has been something I've been, I'm used to. I went to probably the preppiest all boy high school on this side of Mississippi. Uh,
That's an East
I'm
Coast thing
saying
to say.
I'm saying like blazer tie, khakis, Miles knows the deal. Yeah, where
Do
it
you
was like when you think of New England, that's where I went to school, and it was only like it was more opportunistic on my dad that I ended up there. But anyway, that being in those spaces was never really new to me, which was great for my
mm-hmm.
development. In that I never really sought community. I feel like because I was really really fortunate to have the Tagadu community in Boston raised me. Just having my family, I have a really strong family. I always knew I had a community to go back to. Like it wasn't always. It didn't really cripple me as much as I thought it might. At first, it was
Mm-hmm.
definitely culture shock, and there were obviously experiences of racism. But I think having been exposed to that early in my life, then
Mm-hmm.
in some extent, it just helped my growth and development. So when I
Yeah.
got to DC, there was enough black people for us to kind of just have our own community. Like there
of
was like
of 8, a community of 8.
what?
Yeah, I said you had a community of 8 because you said there was
Oh
8
no,
other
for
people.
for college it was there was like in my class, I don't know
Mm-hmm.
how many there were, but even across the grades, like from freshman to senior year,
Mm-hmm.
every year there was like the people of color, like especially the black community in BC is really tight knit, but there was
Yeah.
enough of them that I think we were always meeting new people. We had that opportunity, we were able to meet new people all the time. So
Mm-hmm.
because my experience at this preppy white high school, I'm gonna tell you right now, I maybe the only like white people I hung out with, I didn't really hang out with them. I just knew who they were the ones who came from my high school.
Okay.
And I think that was the experience for a lot of the students of color. Like once they got into that space, we almost exclusively hung out with each other. We created like our own mini HBCU, and we were just living in a big ass white institution. I went to DC, which is it was a university. So again, it's not, for me, again, I think for better or worse, having that opportunity gave me this platform. I don't think there was any doubt about that.
Okay, you said I'm not new to this, I'm true to this.
Exactly. So it in a lot of ways, I knew how to navigate, and I became so like, I had my, just like all of us, our phases. I don't like to reduce them to phases because I still feel like every experience was.
Say hi to cece. This is an interview, cece. Go away. Sorry, guys. I'm still in Seattle, as you can tell. I'm in the hotel lobby.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, that's right.
Yeah.
You stunned. You balled out.
Whoa. You went from asking when I'm leaving to how much money I spent.
I'm just trying to see I'm just trying to see how you live.
Whoa.
Yeah,
Girl. Get it how I live it? Listen, you trying to put me on a different map right now. You're trying to put me on a different map right now. Okay. That's hilarious.
No, I mean, but that's the that was the experience, and it made me, for better or worse. My little brother out there, shout out to Ghazi.
Okay.
But yeah, no, it was, again, being a predominantly white institution is something that I think having had to navigate at such a young age. When I got to this point, it was really just a matter of like, say when, like where am I gonna have to? And like I said, I had this conversation actually with one of my best friends from law school. He's a black lawyer in Miami. And this happens a lot. A lot of black lawyers ask me this. My firm, I'm the only black lawyer at my firm, and probably the first. I think I'm the first. No one's established that, but it's a smaller.
You might want to do that. That's a W. Like, we could say that with our whole chest in the community. You know what a flex that is? I'm about to be like, you guys. I know the first black lawyer at this establishment. You don't want me to flex for you?
Listen,
Look, I'm a brand ambassador. Do you see? I have TYLV clothing. Okay, I have the necklaces. I'm over here. I'm just,
From your boy, the
stylism.
Yeah. No,
stylism. Ghazi, TYLV.
I gotta get see if you can try to plug that up. I gotta get one of those jerseys.
You the nigga we talk about. So if you get listen, hold on.
Can I just get it on the low at least? You don't have to give me it for free. Just let me get a.
No, but you asking these things online. You send an example for these people.
I know. I mean, hey.
No, it's okay. Listen, me and you. No. Me and you are gonna have an offline conversation about what to ask online versus offline. Jesus Christ! But yes, I will ask him. He's in here. Ghazi, if you're in here, go ahead and DM him. Jesus Christ! You know what DM is? DM is direct message.
DM. I know what
DM. Okay. I just wanted to check. Since you're acting like a fada right now, so I have to make sure. You said, can I get a plug?
Yeah. Well,
no one called you fada yet?
No, I said it is. That's not the first time.
I was gonna say, me and you, this is gonna be my new nickname for you. What? Oh no. Yeah. Yes, I love it. The cousin is coming in the background to co-sign me. That's what I'm talking about. My girl, I see you, Marty. I said Marty. The way that her name is spelled on here. Anyways. The focus is that you're being a fada, but yes, I will do my best to try to get you this jersey. We need to get you gear because you don't, like, where are you gonna wear it? You can't wear that to the office.
I mean, I can. Technically, I can. I mean,
you got it like that?
Well, I mean, post pandemic, we'll see. You always got to stretch you got to push the institutions a little bit. That's the name of
So
the game.
you said I want to be the first one. I'm gonna be the first one in the door, and then I'm about to just change some shit up.
I mean, isn't that what we all do? That's how you gotta do it. That's how you got.
Oh, he said this is just a regular day. Like I'm just gonna trailblaze.
The
That's
stoop who sat by the door. Catch that book. I know my, you know,
oh
the
yeah
Afro
yeah.
essentials out there know
Oh,
that what I'm talking about. Stoop who sat
so
by the door.
you said you're woke. Got it. Okay, guys. Like he's dropping a lot of gems here. I don't know if you're catching these.
So that was actually what I was trying to say. Is when I got to BC, it was
Mhm.
when I was saying the phase thing. Like, it's not really a phase, and this is how I don't like when people call it, say like they're in phases. Like,
Mhm.
but it was definitely like I, I didn't want to talk about. I was an African diaspora studies minor.
Mhm.
Shout out to that program, BC.
Okay. Okay. Woke
And
woke.
I mean, it was only a minor, but like going from my high school to having that experience
Mhm.
again set the stage at a young age for me, like to how to navigate. And so I was finally putting language to my experience
Mhm.
at that time, and I was just that experience in high school is really when we talk about blackness, and I've had these conversations with my black friends, like when did you figure out your blackness? It was definitely early, like middle of high school, because I
Yeah.
wasn't it wasn't in my communities, like because I was just like everybody else. I realized I was black when I was the only one in a white institution.
Classroom. Mhm.
Yeah, but when I got to BC, like it was more, it was all about, educating myself. I was really like hit hard with a lot of things, and I'm still hit hard, even now. Like what the kids are, I'm still involved with my high school,
Mhm.
with the color of my high school, and just hearing them talk about it, uh, you know, the work that needs to be done, and how they just their level of understanding. And this is where social media comes into play, because I think it played a big role in that. Uh,
Yeah.
just understanding systems of privilege beyond class, um,
Okay.
you know, is I'm just, it's great that people are, appreciating it and embracing that finally. So it's like, so yeah, so that's how I kind of navigate now, is like that sort of pathway.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Is like I don't really seek. I have relationships at my job, and they're so, but it's not. I think here's the thing: is like some people in my profession, and in any industry, I think when you're going to, you know, you're going to do a new job. When you're searching for a new job, some people, seek that support, and that's, you understand why, because if you don't have it, you don't know who you can trust, kind of thing. And I'm of the mindset that it's still very difficult to trust anyone, regardless of
Oh
that.
no.
Just it's sort of the corporate. It's just not a corporate life. I don't think I'm the only one who's.
No, you're not. I'm
Yeah,
just being
yeah.
I'm just being extra because I'm out of that lifestyle. So I like
Yeah,
every time.
I know it. You
Yeah.
have that. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
for organization. You know the deal. Like,
Yeah.
so it's
Oh, not that you remember my degree. Okay, hold on. Go
bad
ahead.
info too. Am I going to?
Yeah, you real with the federal shit today, but you know what? That's okay. Just let the people know you know my business. That's fine. Go ahead.
You know,
It's
homie.
it's okay.
So yeah, I mean, I think what I think it's important to, or I'm lucky, honestly. I don't know if it's important. I'm
Mhm.
lucky to have still have a community that I can always go back to. Like,
Yeah.
even if I'm working throughout the day, it's like I don't need to necessarily rely on anyone. It's just I know people who've known me forever, and that kind of perspective helps. Um,
So they keep you rooted.
absolutely.
You see how I
Oh,
played that? Yeah,
okay,
you see
okay,
what I did there?
okay.
You see what I did there? They keep you
Exactly.
rooted. We love that. We love a good support system. Okay, so
Black
the way
mentor.
you,
One of my first black mentors just joined, Caleb Collins.
okay,
He's
let
one
me
of the
find out.
set the stage for black students at our high school. He was an alum in '93. I think he was the only one in his class, and that was like 90. There were 90 kids, and then in
Okay,
my class it was like 4. Now we're upwards of 10. Doing great work. But but
wow.
it's part of the. I think that's part of just why, and it's why I'm involved in services. Gotta,
Okay,
yeah,
wait, don't just skip over that, because you not only do you do your corporate real big boy job, but you also do mentorship on the
yeah,
side. Okay, so explain to the people what that actually looks like.
yeah. I mean, I'm like I said, education has been a big part of my life. I'm involved with my high school. I'm on the multicultural alumni partnership. So we are the alumni of color
Mm-hmm.
governing group, and we basically we provide support systems to the current students,
Mm-hmm.
alumni. Again, it's incredibly deeply rooted white institution. Goes back to the
Remind them where you're from.
Boston. So
Okay.
so
Go
the
ahead. You know how
stereotypical,
because
yeah, I'm saying
they're
it's
missing context.
whatever you think of when you think of Boston, it's colonial history, everything. There's a reason why it's considered the whitest, biggest city in
Mm-hmm.
the country. And obviously, there are systems, despite how liberal it is, that have yet to be, that's deeply rooted in tradition. Um, and there's systems that are being challenged now that should have been challenged a long time ago that we're still facing. And
Mm-hmm.
dealing with those students now, again, like we talk to those students on a regular basis. We bridge relationships, and it shows how far we've come as a
Mm-hmm.
society, that they know so much. They know more. They know, like, tenfold what I knew at that time about my blackness, and I think social media had a big part to do with that. But just language, they're putting a language to an experience, and that wasn't really an opportunity that was I think afforded to me at that point. But
So you said I navigated this system that is not set up for me, and then I made sure to reach back and pull forward other people who are experiencing this.
definitely, and
Okay.
that's
I have
and
to
that
highlight you because you just be
okay.
saying shit like it's regular. So I
No,
just got to make sure people know,
I
right?
know. No,
Because they don't know how busy you really are. So I'm trying to paint the picture for them. So you work every day.
every day, almost 10 hours a day. Sometimes it's a grind. But there's a reason why I'm in the corporate world um, for a couple different reasons. But
Hmm.
I was a teacher, and I was a teacher before I went to law school.
Wait, wait,
Uh,
wait, pause. You didn't tell me you were a teacher.
I'm sure I did. That just means you weren't listening. Did I not tell you? Maybe I didn't tell you.
I have a great memory, sir.
I haven't either.
We're gonna have this competition right now. Okay, so you're trying to tell me that you're a teacher.
Yeah.
When did this happen? I don't remember this conversation.
When did it happen in my life? I
Yeah.
was a teacher right after I got my master's right after college, and then taught and it was, I knew I was going to go to law school eventually, but I also knew I wasn't mentally ready. Like, I was still kind of in my
Okay,
immature.
so we're gonna normalize the whole taking a break. I love that. Okay, so you took a break,
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
in that time you decided to be a teacher.
Yeah, and I became a teacher. I got a degree in education, and I taught. And
What did
luckily,
you teach?
I taught history. I taught history. Yeah,
That makes so much sense.
yeah. I'm a history geek. I'm a history nerd.
I'm
Trying not to give him
experiencing this
credit
on
there.
live. I'm experiencing this live. You guys are getting my live reaction because he's trying to pretend like he had this conversation. We didn't have this
I'm
conversation.
pretty sure we have this. We did not.
No way. No way. I almost said, I was like, no, you told me a different funny story. Not this. I would have remembered this because I would have asked you this for the interview.
Oh
Wow.
no, yeah, no. I thought that's why you were. Yeah, maybe I didn't. Maybe I didn't tell you, but yeah, I taught. So
Okay.
education is big, and it was obviously. I don't think there was anybody who had a greater imprint on my life than my dad, who was big, obviously, in education, but he was also. I like to say he was like the Habesha Furious. For those of you guys who don't know, Boys in the Hood, he was like the Habesha version of, in our communities. He was like the guy. He talks for hours. No, all my friends, all my cousins would listen, but then
Hmm.
they get kind of long winded. But he'd be like, definitely well respected, whatever. But you know, I mean, just having him, I think that was the big, honestly, we talk
Wow.
about navigating, like,
So I can call you Memher now.
no, I'm not there yet. I'm not there. I'm not there.
You're giving me so many nicknames today. I am like loving this. So we're adding Farah.
Yeah.
Farah's better.
Yeah, let's go.
Farah and then Memher. I am like blown away. Okay, your cousin's in here co-signing for me. Like for real, for real. He didn't tell me this shit, and we're gonna have a conversation after. Because what? Okay, that's fine. So you had you had all these life experiences. I'm just so perplexed and confused. So you did this whole let me take a break, but let me be a teacher, because teaching is definitely a break that normal people take. That's not a break. That's hella work.
I didn't say it was a break.
Work.
I honestly wanted to know. I wanted to know if that it was the right fit, and I wanted to know if, you know, I just wanted the life experience, which I think was important. You know, for gaining perspective, doing something that was a little bit less, you know, capital driven, which my job absolutely is. There's no question about it.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, I taught for a public school, so it was, you know, it wasn't, but it wasn't. It was still a predominantly white school, and it was.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a little surprised that I couldn't get a role in a more diverse school. I figured, you know, they needed men of color at that time, but you know, the right opportunity was there. It actually was a great fit because they had a whole unit. One of the unit was about
Mm-hmm.
teaching system. It was a really progressive community.
Mm-hmm.
So they were teaching systemic racism to these kids.
Wow.
We were dealing with parents who called it liberal propaganda. Like I was getting letters from parents saying all that stuff, and that was just, it's almost 10 years now, or 8 years ago.
Wow. You're also aging yourself, by the way.
Yeah. It's okay. I hear enough jokes.
You've been so federal today. I love it. Wow. Okay, so we're 8 years ago.
Not much to, honestly, there's really not much to know. You know, honesty is the best policy in my book.
You know what? I love that. I appreciate that, because I clearly do this whole honesty thing too much on this show.
And I appreciate it.
And it's just crazy. And then, you know, okay, let's not. I was gonna bring back the old beef. I'm gonna let it go today though. So you did this whole teaching thing.
Yeah.
You taught us that you're not new to this. I'm true to this, because you've been dealing with these institutions forever. Then you decided to be a mentor and give back to the students who were experiencing similar things. And then, am I mistaken on this? But you also do nonprofit work.
Yeah, no, I do. I mean, yeah, I do them in different capacities. I mean, they one's like, you know, I'm on the board for some, and then others I'm a little bit more like hands-on volunteer.
Mm-hmm.
But like, you know, for the multicultural alumni partnership at my high school, that's technically, you know, that's nonprofit work, but it's you know, it's more governance, more advisory. And then, you know, I do volunteer work for Stepping Stone, which was also a program for students of color, or just students in the city, inner city.
Mm-hmm.
It was actually the program that got me into the prep school network.
Okay.
And then, you know, we did work with, you know, Tigray together, and I'm now, like, you know, I'm also in the Builders of Color Coalition, which is like a real estate professional of color group.
Okay.
So yeah,
you're booked and busy is what you're telling people.
Yeah, no, yeah, I'm busy, but you know, I do think, and I was thinking about this when you told me that we were going to talk about it. I'm glad that honestly, it was just we hadn't talked about it a lot before that call, but it was like, I was thinking about it, like, you know, my experience in being in white institutions and my commitment to service are really like related to each other.
Yeah.
You know, I felt like there was a reason why I was successful in those institutions, because I had the community, and so I just didn't, you know, I never felt like I could just abandon it necessarily, and even still, like, it's tough to juggle for sure.
Yeah.
And but you know, we just culturally, you know, we thrive on community, and that's how I was raised, and it's just a big part of. It's a big part of me maintaining perspective and maintaining sanity in white spaces.
Yeah.
You know, going back to the community, being around people who look like me and talking about things that are important. I need that, you know, for my own thing. It's not just for the community. Like it helps me stay, like you said, rooted, helps me stay sane. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't cynical at a lot of times. Like I get really, you know, like frustrated with lack of progress, just like everyone else. And, you know, you just got to truck through, and you got to think about how to just set your mark a little bit. And so it's a big, pretty much. So I'm glad you had those together, because that's why I do that. It's because of they're related, you know.
No, they are. Can you? Because I was like, okay, he has to be doing something to juggle all of this. You're also so kind. You were like, you know, in our conversation, like it was just this soft thing. Like I was reading you, but you were taking it really well. When in our last conversation about preparing for the show, and you were like, you know, no one's ever really put it to me like that, and I was like, damn, is that a good thing or a bad thing? Totally. But it's a good thing.
I like perspective. Cool. I like perspective. I'm learning to, you know, I think one of the best parts of this whole, you know, just these social movements, is that people are becoming, I mean, the biggest part, I think, the biggest takeaway is that people are becoming kinder to each other. People are understanding experiences at a level that they didn't before, you know, like all these, like Black Lives Matter is not about, you know, it's not anarchism. It's not like socialism. It's really just understand this experience at its core, fundamentally, you know, the Tigray revolution, the Tigray, you know,
genocide. We're going to call it a genocide.
Like it's about understanding. It's about understanding an experience, you know, and I think that's what is not being appreciated across the board. So
it's like our lives are optional, and it's really really a frustrating experience to have, and that's what we were working on. But then so you know, he had the whole Hannah as a therapist experience the first time he talked to me that I don't think that you were expecting. But since then I was like, you know, you compartmentalize, right? Like what we all do, like we have so much going on. So I was like, you have a very demanding career. You do this stuff pro bono, a lot of pro bono. And then you have to kind of juggle your whole calendar situation, which your calendar scares me. So could you tell the people what it's like to juggle all of that?
It requires a lot of discipline, and it requires a lot of meditation, prayer. It requires a lot of behind the scenes self-work.
Okay.
But it also sacrifices, you know, it's a sacrifice. It's and we, you know, you sacrifice personal development, personal relationship development. I don't think it's sacrifice.
Not you over here. You using big words. He said you sacrifice. You sacrifice time with your friends.
Time with your friends, for sure.
You got to say it for the younger people.
Yeah, for sure. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, yeah, you do have to sacrifice time with your friends. No, it's a good point. I mean, but that's, you know, like if your friends are doing the same thing, it's, you know, it can be done together in fellowship. You know what I'm saying? Like, otherwise, you know, it's just a matter of setting priorities. And
that's a big word.
Yeah,
that's a big word.
We talk about, and it is, you realize what your priorities are when you get this busy. You realize what it is that is most important to you. And, you know, a lot of my time with my friends is ad hoc. It's like the last minute. They make fun of it because I'm like, I'll be showing up. Like when it's like when I have, you know, instead of the planned times or the planned meetings that.
Yeah, you said ad hoc. I love that for you. This nigga said that's a memo term. You said ad hoc. I was trying to let that slide, but I was like, nah, bro. I can't. I'm crying.
Dr. Larry crashed the Martha's Vineyard party.
I'm crying. He said, wasn't this the brother who was at Obama's birthday event on Martha's Vineyard? You got a story to tell? I'm confused.
I mean, there's really not much more to it. We was just at the party, you know. We was out
So,
there. We was
you just crashed Obama's birthday? That's just a normal
we
thing
had
to do?
we had lunch at the we had lunch at the hotel. Like my family and my brother and his Larry, the artist, is an actor in his film. We were in Martha's Vineyard because they were in the Martha's Vineyard Film Festival, African American Film Festival.
Got
And
it. Okay.
we had lunch at the hotel that he was having his party like an hour and a half before everybody came in. We saw Gayle King. My mom's took a picture with, you know, Gayle King was funny. She don't even know.
So you were. She doesn't know her.
My sister made it happen. Like she was orchestrating the
So you earlier wanted to be in my pockets, talking about you had a fancy hotel, but here you were again holding out, having these little stories. Thank you for all of you in the comments that are helping me interview him, because the way he will just act like he's a normal dude. I cannot believe this. Okay. So you just crashed Obama. So did you meet Obama too?
Unfortunately, not. We should have finessed it. Somehow finessed it.
I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed. I was expecting a very happy ending to that story. But I'm just gonna let it go. I'm just gonna go ahead, continue to name drop situations while you're on here.
That's not. I mean, he was, you know. That's not.
Not that you're blushing. Not that you're blushing. I love it. That's not a normal day for you?
No, not at all.
Okay.
It was
I just
fun.
wanted to make
Great
sure.
story. I'm gonna hold on to that story as if I'll probably make the story better as time goes on. I'll eventually say we actually met. And then,
yeah, you should like invent a whole handshake situation too. Like you have a special handshake with bruh. You know what I mean? Like he dapped you up after a game and like y'all had like a bro moment or something. You see how I'm already producing? I'm producing your life. Like you could just let me. I could make you a star, but you don't want it.
I don't think I could handle it.
You don't think you can handle it? You don't want to switch jobs with me?
Nah, you got that. You holding that down for us for the squad.
Damn, I thought your job was hard.
You're gonna be my famous friend for sure.
For real?
For sure.
But you got to watch more episodes, bro. You can't be talking. This whole story of you learning about Uprooted, and we got to fix that.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Wow. Your friends is in the comments. I love this. Oh, you guys got him blushing.
It was, like I said, phases. Experience.
Okay, I'm headed to it. Hey, but listen, this was not me. Yeah, this was not me. As long as you remember, this was not a me. This was not Hanna. Didn't say shit. I didn't bring it up. I won't
hold you to it.
Okay, good. Because they're funny in the comments. So listen.
Those are my people right there.
Yes. Wow. Listen, I feel like there are some stories in here. So all of his friends who are commenting, please DM me because I want to hear these stories. I want to hear these stories because he's been holding out on me apparently. I think I do know this reference. I'm not going to say it out loud because this is a recorded thing, but just know. You see how I didn't go federal with you, but you went federal with me, and you're the lawyer. I just want that for the record.
When it comes to me, I'm open, but I don't leave too much out in the open. Or I don't leave too much to the chest. Shout out Faven will tell you, BC, she's out here. Like I said, BC Black experience is its own experience. She's also Habesha. I actually met her in Makala before I met her at BC when we were kids. It's wild,
Wow.
It's funny.
I had her on the show.
Oh, you did? No, I shouldn't say that.
Do you see? I love that was a recorded reaction. I have this on the record. If you ever needed somebody to humble you, did you see that reaction? He goes, "Oh, you did? Oh yeah. I don't watch your show. What are you talking about?" Like, I love this. This is so fantastic. Thank you so much, Feiwu.
That's great. No, she does. You know what I'm saying? She does great things. She does great work.
So Feiwu, also remember that he didn't know that you were on the show, so you can have that conversation with him later. Thank you so much. You make this too easy. I love this. So Did you realize that the whole hour was pretty much had gone by?
I didn't. No, it was easy. It was easy.
Thank you. I do my job well, don't I?
You do.
You know, I gotta compliment. I gotta compliment myself around these parts.
I also overcompensate, but because I've made too many admissions that. But
Yes, the too many admissions. It's the no offense after that's killing me. You guys, if you ever wanted to have a lawyer friend, this is what it feels like. Okay, this is it. You were setting the bar for them. Oh no, not his phone freezing. Is it me? Is it him? Uh-oh. Not his phone froze. We okay. Oh no, his phone. Watch, you guys, the way I know this guy, it probably died. It probably died. Yeah, his phone is freezing, not mine. What'd you do to your phone?
I don't know. I knew it was gonna happen eventually.
Did you put it on the charger?
I know it's on the charger. I was just I was trying to let it from I got this. It turns off. What is it called? Goes to sleep mode.
Oh, so that's how you juggle it. Okay.
I wiped it out.
Got it. So this is how you balance your life. You have sleep mode on your phone. Okay.
Doesn't everybody?
People don't turn that on.
Oh yeah.
What are you talking about? You think I sleep at normal time? What time do you get random ass text messages from me?
Yeah, it's pretty late. It's usually pretty late. But you're also West Coast.
This is again another federal thing.
Come on, man. Yeah. What do your followers know about you? You're the
I'm just kidding. I love messing with you because of course they know that about me.
Oh, okay.
But you wouldn't because you don't watch the show.
Okay.
Can
we get moved for that?
You are the one who said that we should.
I just watched it late.
Got it. No, because I have to do this publicly one time. And you said in the beginning of the show that it was okay. Like we could do the roasting thing. Okay. So I just wanted to make sure that everyone understood that. But it's fine. It's completely fine. You know why? Because like when I have random questions, you still answer them. So like, I'm not gonna ruin this. I'm not gonna drag it too far.
Yeah.
No, because I'm sure.
Did I do a good job?
No, you did a great job. Guess what? There's still. No, I don't have to say that. I don't have. I can. No, I'm not gonna go there. Okay. That's gonna be an offline conversation. Okay, but listen, you did the whole hour, and I'm really, really impressed. So, do you know what the last question usually is, or should I ask you still?
This is something I should have been prepared. Why didn't you tell me this before?
No, because everyone in the audience knows the last question. So the last question is always, what do you want your legacy to be? Is it deep?
Yeah, it's pretty deep.
Okay.
That's not, thought about it. It's I think I want my legacy to be I guess maybe I haven't thought about it. I don't want to be long-winded about it. I'm trying to be as succinct as possible. I think
the way you say that, like it's a meeting. This is your legacy. Take it seriously.
Yeah, no, I am. I do. I think it's just the commitment to service. No matter what you're doing to make money, don't just
Not a motivational speech.
I mean, I didn't go. It's not a speech. I just.
Okay. No, I'm still messing with you. I was trying to make it easier for you. Okay, so your legacy, you want to leave a legacy in service.
I just want to know that was I guess I want that to be the thing that inspires people, is service.
Okay. You said I want to be MLK. I love it. I really do.
But I'm okay now.
You said no, not MLK.
I mean, you know, if I even get to, yeah, of course, you know, that's if I can make a legacy that, you know, that big for sure, or I can have an impact that lasting for sure. But
Okay. No, I love it. This is the part where I usually speak life into you. So I was trying to, this is the part where I gas up my guests because, you know, I like to give people their flowers. Last week it was, you know, physically gave flowers. But no, for you, I think that that's also why I wanted to highlight different things about like what you're actually doing, because you work really hard all the time, but somehow yet and still you find ways to show up for people, um, to make yourself available for the things that matter to you. And like, even though I joke about your schedule, like, and you balancing it, like, it warms my heart that your priority is always giving back to someone that has less than, or that you had a poor experience and so you want to make that better for somebody else. Like, I think that that just shows like what a heart you have, because you could easily just be successful for yourself, you know, and like go and live happily ever after in your corner office in the corporate world, and like, you know, live that way. But I never got the sense that that was fulfilling to you, and so I never treated you like that, you know, because I was like, no, his character is bigger than his job. Like, his job is just a skill set that he happens to have, but the man behind that is even better. And so I wanted to make sure I gave you those flowers, even though I roast you all the time.
yeah, that was good. That was really nice. Thank you. So
Thank
it
you.
makes all the roasting worth it.
You know, I try to do my job, you know, because sometimes, you know, with you guys, and I tell it all the time, I said, oh, he came on with a haircut. Okay. He was like, let me make sure I'm stunting on here.
I mean, what's up? You thought I was gonna come out here looking like, you know? I mean, you know me at the on
Yeah.
my birthdays.
You feel me? And I accept you that way. This is a platform where you come as you are, you know? Because, you know, what do you have to prove to people at this point? You already did it. You already did it. You've been doing your job. You just climbing, going to the next step, transitioning. And I can still produce the hell out of your career. I'm just saying, if you ever need a PR person.
You already know. You're on the team.
You know? Thank you. Not the new hairline. Hey, your cousins are crazy.
What did they say?
She said new hairline. I'm fed up.
Can we end this?
Yes, we're done. We are done. You did a fantastic job. I just wanted to say again, for any young guys in the community who are thinking about like being a lawyer, there's a way to do it. You know, have your goals and intentions set. And I think the message of today is like, find a balance, find a community that supports you and keeps you humble and grounded. And it's okay if your friends roast you a little bit, because sometimes your ego gets there. So we got to make sure we keep you, you know? So, we love it and we appreciate you. We appreciate you. Thank you for coming on. It was painless, wasn't it?
Well, you know, it was.
I love it. Don't even. We were ending on such a good note. We were ending.
No, it was fun.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you for having me. Thanks for, you know, sharing my story.
I got you. No problem. So that is a wrap for Black Men Speak Sundays. I will see everybody tomorrow for Manifest Mondays, and then Wednesday for Black Women Wednesdays. So that is the Uprooted podcast, y'all. Thank you, Atakelti.
All right. Thank you.
Bye, y'all.